Ladies and gentlemen, agents of info, it's July the 18th, 2026. It is time to jump to see what's been going on. So, without further ado, and yes, I am rubbing my hands together because it's time to get started. But without further ado, first, let's discuss what we're going to talk about. We're going to be going over to see what's been going on in Iran. We know the wars got started back on, and as well, we might be checking out to see what been going on here in the U.S. We know Trump gave a little speech recently, so we're going to see what he said about that. But then, anyways, without further ado, let's jump right into it. And yes, we are using the new platform WOSTR, World of Streams, to use and keep track of our information that we gather and to find some as well. But anyways, let's go, people. And yes, agents of info, let's get started. Now, as I said, we're going to talk about Iran, see what's been going on over there. As we all know, recently the war's been started back. The MOU did not work, so we're going to see. We're going to go travel over to Iran and see what we can find. We're just going to, let's see, search about the resurgence of the war, the conflicts, strike areas, and things of that nature. And then we might come back here to the U.S. to see what the statements were recently stated and any other news that we can possibly find just for the heck of it to see if there's any connections anywhere. So let's get ready, people. And yes, again, we are using the WOSTR app. That's World of Streams. We are using the WOInformed. That's World of Informed profile type on WOSTR. But nonetheless, let's go over there and see what we can find. Ladies and gentlemen, put your helmets on, put your boots on. We're going to Iran. Let's go see what we can find. Um, I believe, I don't know, I've also heard things about there being some infighting. We discussed this before, but this infighting is, I guess, intensifying within Iran. But let's see what we can find. All right, we are on WOSTR. Now, we're going to go to Iran. We're going to do a search. And I'm not sure exactly. We might just go to Karga Island and start from there. And then I guess just see what we can find. I do have some terms I want to look up to see what's been going on. And let me go full screen here so we can all see the good action of what's going on. And you guys get a good look at the WOSTR platform. So let's see. We're going to go travel to Iran to see what we can find. I think, let's see if I can spell this right. Karg, oops. Karg Island. So I don't, I don't know all the locations of the exact places the strikes were happening at. So we're just gonna. I'm sure they attacked some Karg Island, but give me 1 second. All right, let's go. So we are. All right. So what kind of search should we be doing? Uh, so let's do bombings or actually let's do bridge. We know there's gonna be bridges. We've heard attacks happening on bridges in Iran. I know not on Karg Island, but hopefully it gets the surrounding area. Bridges bombed. All right, let's just do that simple for now. We'll see what we can get. Now, we're also going to be looking for some infighting that's been going on. I've been hearing about just some channels and some articles and things of that nature. So I have another window open with some terms to search, and we'll bring it back over here so we can find anything related. Yeah, we got some returns, people. So let's see what we got. So how this works, people, if you're not familiar with it, which is brand new, I've only used it 1, 2 times before, but the outer ring right here is it's 11 kilometers. Actually, let me just close this and open this back up. So the outer ring is 11 kilometers within the area around the center point here. And the next ring will be the city that this pin is at. The next inner one, which would be the violet, the purple one, would be the state that the pin is in, and the next one would be the country. Now, of course, if news can be found or any kind of information based on the criterion over here in the Intel recon box that we put in, if it can't find anything related to that criterion, it might just pull stuff from randomly around the country or randomly around the world. It'll try to find things around the world that match that the criteria, which is just like a search. There's nothing too crazy, people. Nothing magnificent and magical going on in the background. But let's get this search back. Bridges bombed. All right, let's siphon that info. Should pop up. Yep, already did the search. All right. Well, we definitely cannot read that. We'll come back to this. This one is definitely in a. We got to get that translated. So we'll get that in a second. See, this obviously has nothing to do with the war in Iran. So we will skip this one. We get a lot of Miles Bridges. What's going on with Miles Bridges? Miles Bridges, what's going on? You got traded or something? We're not gonna look at that, people. Oh, hold on. We got a crash somewhere. So we also will also get some news sometimes, and we'll just look at it. But this ain't part of the story. But it is an interesting story because okay, it's a crash on the highway. It's just an accident. So we're not getting anything. So again, so the 11-kilometer range. If nothing happened within that 11-mile radius of bridges being bombed, then it would just search random stories. That I don't know how it gets Miles Bridges being traded as a. So let's find here. Let's go into previous. Of course, this is translated. All right, let's see. Okay, we do got something here. What do we have? How old is this? What the heck is this? 25 oh what the 2504 1405. I don't know what they got some kind of different date system over there. What is this? Anyways, I don't understand that. But let's see. According to ILNA, let's see who this is real quick, people. Who is the ILNA? Iranian Labor News Agency. Okay. Formed 2003 in Tehran. Tehran. Mohammed Mosafari added, based on initial information, these attacks have not been achieved in any casualties so far. The various aspects of this incident are investigated by the relevant authorities. So they're talking about a bombing in Bushehr City, but I don't know what this date is, so I can't really say when, uh, what time this is referring to. Um, let's see if you. That's all it says. There's no real. I don't understand that date right there. It's so interesting. Whatever it was, it happened at 11, or the report came out at 11 on this site. This, yeah. But I will. Let's see if you can find. So the governor of Bushehr City-based citizens are requested to follow news and information only through official sources and to refrain from publishing unverified news and fueling rumors. So the local governor of the city of Bushehr is stating, do not listen to anything other than here, what it seems like from here, just to make sure that you don't get any unverified news. That's just what the governor is stating, so we're just reporting that. So let's quickly look out real quick and see. We'll keep that open right there. All right, let's just close this. All right, let's see what this the city ring says here. Nasride gets good news at. Oh, what are we talking about here? More basketball. More basketball. Okay, nothing there. So we got a story about Russia and Ukraine. That's not what we're looking for though. Actually, let's just see what it's talking about. Let's just see. We might just add this as a story. We'll just go to looks like Kiev it said and just paste it there. And I don't got nothing popping up. Let me just open it up. See what we get. Oh, so they still popping over there. Look like they not stopping. Oh, what is this? Gosh dang, Washington Post. Well, WOSTR has been black from that. That's why we can't put it's a subscription. So let's see. Oh, here we go. So this is the countrywide news. Oh, I get it. Okay, so I wasn't thinking Miles Bridges. That's why he's popping up so much. So, like I said, if there's no news locally within the 11-mile radius, it'll just pull from the city. And obviously, Carg Island doesn't have any bridges that I'm aware of. At least nothing that is importance of transportation. At least they didn't hit any. At least it seems like. So it's not going to pull information from there. And the next ring is the city, and I guess in this case would be Carg Island in whole. And again, no bridges, so no story besides Miles Bridges. And the next ring is the state in Carg Island. Um, it's not a state, it's just, but it's its own thing out there. It's an island, so we'll just consider the island like a state. So it's like three in one, but it's a small little spot. So then we got Iran in general, and we got some stories there because there have been bombings in Iran. So that's what we get for this. So let's preview this. Hmm. Is this a good site? Uh, it's a it is a account, and I don't have an account. We might have to sign up for an account here, people. But for what we can see, those Iran war updates, bridges and water plants hit as strikes stretched to the seventh straight day. Overnight into Friday, Iran reported U.S. strikes on infrastructure that can serve civilian purposes and has targeted were cut off. We can't see any more, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what this other one get us. Let's preview this. All right, we got something here. Who's this from? This is from UPR.org. I'm not sure who UPR is, but let's see what we got. Okay, got us a cargo ship. Let's see. The U.S. and Iran expanded their targets in the latest round of strikes on Friday as fighting over the control of the Strait of Hormuz reignites fears of an all out war. The U.S. military said it struck Iranian air defenses, sites, and military logistics infrastructure in its attacks as it sought to pressure Iran to lift its chokehold on the strait. Iran said those targets included 6 bridges in the Hormozgan province facing the key waterway, as well as power infrastructure. It vowed to retaliate by targeting the infrastructure of U.S. allies in the region. Legal scholars have warned that attacks on infrastructure with wide civilian use in some circumstances could constitute a war crime under international law. President Trump threatened to strike Iranian bridges this week if Iran failed to return to talks to end the war. Iranian state media said at least 7 people were killed and 21 wounded in the latest U.S. strikes on infrastructure. According to Iranian health officials, 38 people have been killed and over 400 wounded in the past week. The overnight U.S. strikes also appear to have destroyed maritime control tower in the Iranian port of Chabahar in the Gulf of Oman, another key commercial gate in the strait. A photo of the bombed out tower collapsing was shared on social media by U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Iran retaliated Friday by launching missiles and drones against U.S. allies in the Gulf, which hosts U.S. military bases. Iran's Revolutionary Guard said it targeted Kuwait, Bahrain, and Oman. Iran's Revolutionary Guard also said it attacked U.S. Special Forces in Al-Tanf in Syria, a former U.S. military outpost from which U.S. troops withdrew in February, claiming casualties and damage. There was no immediate response by U.S. Central Command CENTCOM to Iran's claim. So it looks like, we're pausing this story right here for a second. Iran is claiming that uh, they they got casualties from their attack and some damage, but CENTCOM, U.S. Central CENTCOM, has reported no such in particular kind of attack that has claimed U.S. casualties. At least they're not stating it according to this story. Authorities in Kuwait, let's continue. Authorities in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar, a key mediator in talks between the U.S. and Iran to end the war, said Friday that air defense systems were intercepting hostile attacks. Jordan also staved off Iranian missiles. According to its state media, Iranian strikes were also reported in Iraq's Kurdistan region. We are at least 8 opposition fighters were killed, according to the Kurdish Iranian opposition group. Now, I believe this was, unless this was more of a recent attack, there was also attacks in the northwestern Iran on the border. And I believe at that time, if I remember correctly, there were casualties on both sides. But nonetheless, let's continue. The U.S. reinstated a military blockade on ships entering or exiting Iranian ports earlier this week. It followed the launch of strikes on Iran that the U.S. military says are aimed at degrading Iranian military capabilities and holding Iran accountable for recent attacks on commercial shipping. Since the reimposition of the blockade, the U.S. military said it has redirected 3 vessels that tried to breach the blockade, struck and disabled an oil tanker that disobeyed orders, and boarded one to ensure compliance. Impacted by the escalation, oil prices jumped 10% this week. Iran has shut off the Strait of Hormuz since the U.S. and Israel began the war on Iran in February 28th. Iran's leaders sought to impose a toll on the cargo and oil vessels moving through the strait, attacking ships that did not comply with its orders. The U.S. has urged ships to use a southern route through the Strait of Hormuz that hugs the coast of Oman. Iran has said this violates the memorandum of understanding signed last month between Iran and the United States. I, I don't think we covered that, but in full the MOU. But I believe it was stated there was no such thing as paying tolls in the strait. So that would be breaking, not participating in the MOU. At least not the attacks, that's for sure. So, hmm, let's actually let me get that preview again. I don't think they give any actual locations. They actually struck like no province. Okay, we got Chabahar. Actually, we'll just go there. So we got Chabahar people. Let's actually. We'll just do bombings. We're not gonna do bridges. But let's actually get some. Let's just get both. So we're gonna do a siphon Intel Plus, which grabs from more deeper sources, including foreign and more, I guess you say, exquisite search engines that are more akin to those regions, and also some social content from social sites and possibly videos that we can find. So this is in the region over there. This is more south, Iran, I believe. Let me check. Let's zoom out some. So yes, this is more south based. So South Iran, the very south. We in the deep south, people. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we got something here. Iran attacks Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan after deadly U.S. bombings. Woo! So as we know, it's crazy. Iran's been attacking multiple countries on this particular recent round. This is 5 days ago, so this isn't like play new. Oh, this is a video. This is what we got.
U.S. forces have carried out more attacks on southern Iran as the standoff over the Strait of Hormuz intensifies. The port cities of Bandar Abbas, Sirik, and Jask have been hit. Qeshm Island off.
So we got Bandar Abbas, Sirik, Jask, and Qeshm Island. Those are the places that have been struck and attacked. That's now I believe so. We got that's pretty south. Jask. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Let's type this up. Jask, Sirik, Qeshm I. All right. And people, y'all could join along. Y'all could jump on the site. And so it's a live site, so anybody can see the posts on the globe. Once we make any, they can make recommendations. Y'all can make posts, and I can grab those and add them to a doc stream. So it'd be one nice little composite of information we gathered for today. And yeah, so we'll dive deep again. While we're using this WOSTR site, we're playing with it. We're testing it out. We're seeing how to make it or how to. We're just coming with a nice little game plan for how to use it. So I'm thinking about what to do next and how to track and how to add these things. So let's take a look at, well, let's just finish this video off. It's only 2:49. Then we'll look at some of these locations and tag them and see what we can gather from those areas if we need to gather anything.
The coast of Iran was also targeted. Iranian media say at least one person has been killed and 4 others wounded in strikes on a water pumping station in Mashhad near the Iraqi border. In the southwest, a fire engulfed a building in the city of Omidyeh. U.S. Central Command confirmed it hit dozens of targets in Iran overnight.
This is Al
CENTCOM earlier
Jazeera.
confirmed U.S. forces began launching more strikes against Iran to continue degrading their ability to attack civilian mariners and commercial ships freely transiting the Strait of Hormuz. The commander-in-chief has directed the strikes to hold Iranian forces accountable. And Iran's Revolutionary Guard says they have hit U.S. military assets in Bahrain, Kuwait, and in Jordan. Bahrain's Interior Ministry confirmed that air raid sirens were sounded, and Kuwait's army says it is engaging with hostile area targets in its airspace. Jordan's military says it shot down 4 missiles. Hamza, Gulf states are coming under attack once again. What else do we know about the strikes that were levied against them?
Well, shortly after those U.S. strikes across Iran, air sirens went off, not just in the GCC, but in other countries in the region, namely Jordan. In Bahrain, let's look at first the GCC countries. In Bahrain, the Interior Ministry advised people to take precautions to avoid open spaces. Shortly after that, the Iranians came out with a statement saying that they've targeted Sheikh Isa Air Base, and the target of those strikes were command and control center for U.S. military drones. They also said they've hit a helicopter maintenance facility at that airbase. In Kuwait, the defense ministry said they were engaging hostile aerial targets. The Iranians said they targeted a Patriot air defense system at Ali Al Salim Air Base. They've also said they've hit radar systems at that military base. In Jordan, the government is saying that they've intercepted several missiles fired from Iran. The Iranians are saying that they've hit fuel depots and ammunition storage. This is something that we have seen every time the Americans strike Iranian targets inside Iran. Iranians retaliate by hitting countries in the region, namely those countries that have U.S. bases.
U.S. forces.
All right, so as we heard there, people, they're talking and going over the attacks that Iran did on Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, the multiple targets that they hit. And this was from Al Jazeera. We will, let's see. So we got another story. This is from the city. Iran roars with well-crushed regional infra threat as U.S. bombings target key IRGC military targets. Iran issues fresh warning to the United States. Tehran threatens devastating regional retaliation. All regional infrastructure now under threat. Military spokesman delivers stark ultimatum. The missiles flying people. The missiles are flying people. U.S. strikes could ignite wider conflict. People, as we all know, this thing could get out of hand real quick. It is no joke. It is no joke. You see the missiles launching. Let's continue. Tehran vows overwhelming military response. No strategic targets will be spared. Iran warns of crushing steel blows. Hey, who edited this thing? Who? Huh? Who is this? Huh? Who is this? I can't see. Let's just go full screen real quick. Courtesy of Press TV Extra. Woo! Hey, that music with the background. I'm not trying to say we need to have these missiles firing off, but Sensational face-to-face media attack. Escalation risk spread across the Middle East. Iran links retaliation to U.S. actions. U.S. carries out more strikes on Iran. Full-blown deadly Iran-U.S. forces resume. Yes, it's resumed, people. It's resumed. Explosion reported in several parts of Iran. It's crazy, folks. U.S. projectiles hit Iran's DEHLORAN city. Oh, what's this? DEHLORAN city. So we have to write this down. I did not see that. So that's a new spot. DEHLORAN city. All right. So I'm not sure exactly where this is at either, but let's continue, folks. U.S. attacks also reported in HAJIABAD, BANDAR, ABBAS, and AHVAZ. Oh, I don't think I heard HAJIABAD. We know BANDAR, ABBAS, and then we got AHVAZ. Man, that's a good amount. That's a good list. We're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be 6. HAJIABAD. Of course, we know we got BANDAR, ABBAS, but I didn't put that down yet. But we already know that was going on. And then we have AHVAZ. I don't think I've heard the AHVAZ term just yet. I'm not as so there's a few on here I don't like. Jask. I've heard Sirik, Qeshm ISLAND, of course, BANDAR, ABBAS. Oh, we already have BANDAR, ABBAS on here. We're gonna take that off. DEHLORAN City, heard of that. HAJIABAD, pretty sure I heard that. Let's continue. Attention to the Middle East exploding French attacks. U.S. President threats target against power plants and bridges. And that's what we've been seeing, folks. We've been seeing power plants and bridges, yes. Not Miles Bridges, people. Not Miles Bridges. But as we see, though, the list is growing of the sites that are getting hit. I don't know how much that's going to actually continue, but we do see that. And actually, let's see. Trump says strikes on Iran will continue until I say enough. So who knows how long this will go on for, ladies and gentlemen. This could go on for a good bit. We have no clue. But let's see. Washington reimposes naval blockade. Oh, definitely pause that. So that was from Times Now Network. Man, that's some good editing there. But nonetheless, where's Times Now? Times Now dot. Okay. IN. Okay, so was that India? Yes, India. Yeah. All right. let's just yeah, we'll actually, I don't think we have one yet. Let me create one. Yeah, let's just create one real quick. Actually, we'll create a few. So we'll create. Hmm, mm, mm. So no, here's what we'll do. We will create a. Hmm, we'll create an info journal, and then we'll add that. We'll add one to that. But for now, all right. Let's see what else we can get. U.S. bleeds hard if Iran with Tesha lethal precision munitions bombings hit dozens of IRGC targets. So this was 5 days ago. This is from Times Now. Was this what I just watched? Okay, so it's a different time zone. This one is actually a little earlier in the days. And let's see. Let's just play it. Mhm. So, U.S. bleeds heart of Iran with these lethal precision. Woo, got disconnected, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just get everything back on. All right. All right. So we're just going to check this one out. We're going to. So this is the U.S. bleeds hard of Iran with these lethal precision munitions. Bombings hits dozens of IRGC targets. So let's check this one out, ladies and gentlemen. know? Should I be muting this? Or are we just going to get the copy? You know what? Let's just play it, people. If we get the strike, we get the strike. We'll know better next time. I don't think this is copyrighted music, people. We're gonna take our chances with this one. I don't believe it's copyrighted. What do y'all got to say about that? Let's go. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's copyrighted? Be well informed. Well, I guess we'll be informed soon if we know if it is copyrighted. Let's go. U.S. persists precise munitions against IRGC. That's all that. Oh, okay. I didn't know they had audio on from the actual videos playing. So it sounds like people in the background who are recording or nearby somebody recording talking. Might be panic. I'm not sure. Can't really tell. U.S. Iran air defense systems target. Coastal radar sites, drone capabilities also attacked. The source of this is U.S. Central Command. Iran's Mahashar was on U.S. target. And that's what we read earlier. One person was killed, 4 wounded. Yes. So this is pretty much the story we read earlier. We were on Karg Island and we saw just random stories from Iran. That was one of them, talking about the 4 wounded soldiers. That IRGC member talking about the governor talking about personnel who got wounded and killed. I thought it was attack at Agri-Water Pumping Station at AGRI. Tehran strikes rendered futile all diplomatic efforts. U.S. strikes after IRGC attack on the shipping vessel. Key shipping route severely affected. So still, as they just stated, there's no current or recent movement or good feedback on the negotiations. So we'll be here for a while, it seems like, people, with the attacks. But they be having that the music in the background though. So no new information from that particular video. Let's see. Hiroshima. What are we talking about here? That's definitely not. So let's see what we got here. What kind of site is this? So this is, I'm not really sure what they I can't see what they're saying. We're gonna just have to translate, people. We're not gonna be able to see what they're talking about. So this is from Afta B News -IR. So this is a Iranian site. We're going to see what they are saying. Is this like a social media site in Iran, or is it just some kind of just a news site, a regular news site? Well, let's just see what they're saying. Over in Iran, a new round of attacks against Iran has begun. Get that out of the way. Explosions in AHVAZ, Ras, Konarak, Chahabar, Bandar Abbas, Greater Toom, Bushehr, HAJIABAD, DEHLORAN, Pampua, Qeshm Island, and Army and IRGC attack Kuwait, Bahrain, Jordan, and we don't see the rest, but naval blockade of southern ports begins. Martyrdom of 7 Army personnel in Anshar. Hey, can we not see the full? So we can't. I guess it's just like a broken up title, a long extended. CENTCOM. My mouse keeps going over that. CENTCOM announced that it has begun a naval blockade of Iran's southern ports. At the same time, the U.S. military continues to attack areas in southern Iran, including Khuzestan, Bushehr, Hormuzgan, and Sistan, and Balochistan. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard and Army have also attacked targets in Kuwait, Bahrain, Jordan, and other countries, as we have uh, been picking up on recently, with missiles and drones. And according to reports, the Revolutionary Guard has also targeted several oil tankers. Um, and this was, how old is this? What the heck? Why does it say 2005? Yeah, this definitely. I don't know what's up with these dates. What is that when the? Yeah, I don't know. You know what? So these are like small stories. They're evacuating the Sahih Bagai Hospital in AHVAZ. Evacuation of Sahih. It's the same story. Arachi returned to Tehran. Abbas Araghchi, our country's foreign minister, who traveled to Doha to express condolences to the government of Qatar on the occasion of the death of the country's former emir, returned to Tehran on Wednesday evening after a meeting with Sheikh Tamim. So that's just so denial of U.S. airstrike on Gul Shahar residential area of Chabahar. So obviously the U.S. is denying. Oh, this is a lot of stories, man. Trump, Iran will soon be defeated. U.S. President Donald Trump, Iran will be defeated soon. They will be defeated very soon. They are good negotiators. They have been in contact with everyone for 47 years. They want to reach an agreement. I can tell you, they want to reach an agreement. We will see if we reach an agreement with them or not. Um, I had to take drastic measures against the Iranians because they were not adhering to what they were supposed to be adhering to. So no casualties in the text there. They got a lot of stories on here. 2 explosions heard in Konarak. Minutes ago, the sound of explosions was heard in the areas of the city. According to this report, the location of the explosions is still unknown, and the sound of American fighter jets flying can be heard. According to the regional officials, the sound of explosions was heard from the outskirts of the city, and the city is now in complete peace and security. So here's what we're gonna do, folks. I actually like this one right here. So let's actually add this one. Yeah, we'll add this. Actually, let's create one. Hmm. Yeah, let's just create one right here. We'll just call this new tax. Right. USA. Let's just put a date actually, so we can. July. We'll just put July. We'll put a date range actually. So we're gonna put like, let's say, let's just say July 11th to July 18th. We'll do 17th because these are old stories, not from today actually. Yeah, we'll just keep it like that. And the description. Okay, briefs on various locations and attacks between the countries. So we'll just create this as a report. We'll just do like a report because I don't actually know how should we make this look. Let's see. We'll just do it at I because we're not sure exactly. Well, no, let's since we do have. Since we're talking about it, we're going to use the bird as the word, baby. So we added that there. So let's go ahead and add. What were we just looking at? Was it here? Yeah. Let me make sure. Oh, gotta translate it. I don't know what that. Yeah, this the one. So we're just gonna add this one to the pin. So we have a lot of pins we created, but we're gonna add it to the one we just created. Here we go. So there we go. All right, so let's see what else we got. Preview. So again, we're just testing out. We're making sure we got good functionality, making sure everything's good with the WOSTR app as we play with it and get a good game plan for when we use it. Again, y'all could join on the site, check it out. Y'all could join on with me, follow along, create your own little pins if you get information. And if I see them pop up, I'll include it in mine. You can make your own little channel, upload. I'm just trying to gather information, spread it about. As you know, we have our own profile type on the WOSTR app called woInformed, which is for us is World of Informed. The site is WOSTR, World of Streams, just using a play on the words that they have there. And I believe, nonetheless, this site is going to need to be translated. What is that a camera lens with a? Anyways, let's translate this into English. Logo. Is that all it is? Okay, I don't think we're gonna be able to translate this one. There's not much on here. I think this is a social media site. Let me try this again. Maybe this needs to be refreshed. So it's good to go to sites like this because you can find some information that you might not find elsewhere because it's completely different language, obviously, but most people won't be able to see it. But since again we're just gonna close it. We're using the Siphon Intel Plus, which gathers information from various locations. Thing enough, Yahoo actually has different versions. So they have a Yahoo Japan, which I didn't know was like completely their own. Uh, I have not pulled anything from there, but sometimes you might get some good information. Sometimes not. Sometimes some different stuff. Sometimes not. But I believe. Funny enough, I can tell if they're the same story, even if they're because you can see the different. So right now we're actually. This is still the outer one. We might not go too far in. bombings. So Interpol names 39-year-old woman as suspect in Monaco apartment bomb. Let's just check this out quick. Let's see. Taking a quick detour, ladies and gentlemen. Quick detour. Let's see what they're talking about here. Okay. So I might have to dig into this one. I never. This is July 3rd, too. We might go on. So, how we might come up with a nice game plan is for side stories if we just go on the side rant or pause and go to it. Because I want to stay on track, but this is kind of interesting because I don't think I heard of this at all from anywhere. So, she's at large. Where was it at? Monaco. Where's Monaco? Hmm. So let's see what we got within the city realm. Greece. There's this. A secret terrorist network carried out hundreds of bombings across America. No warning. I never heard of these guys before. It's not opening up. Oh, it's a video, that's why. So we got. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of reading here. I'm just phased out, but hmm, let's see. Close those. So this is 2 weeks old. Two killed after car bombings in Holan Jaffa and suspected assassination. Oh, attempts. At least two were killed. Were they the suspects? So we're not going to sidetrack. Oh, this is looks like it's not too much sidetracking. We gotta see if this had anything to do with the war going on. Or who were they trying to assassinate? Let's see. At least two men were killed after two car bombings, one in Jaffa and one in Holon, on Sunday morning. Israel police confirmed. So this is about a little less than a month ago. 38-year-old driver from the car explosion in Holon had critical. Actually, I think I did see this on the news. But so that's not related, but I think I do remember seeing that on the news. And intelligence. What the heck? Oh, they got these. Can't even see the bottom. It's being blocked. We got a Pakistan roadside bomb. Kill at least 7. Man, who's doing these? What day is this? It's June. So how far apart was this and the one in Israel? Okay, the one in Israel is June 28th, I think it was, yes. The first target, hold on, 2 roadside bombs in Restiv, northwestern Pakistan killed at least 7 people on Saturday, authorities said. The first targeted a vehicle, while the second went off as rescuers responded to the blast in Banu, a district in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in Kwa province bordering Afghanistan. Senior police official Yasser Afrid said, adding both were controlled remotely. Oh, I don't think the ones in Israel were remote. Let's go back and see actually. Let's after it said 5 people killed in the first blast and 2 in the second, 2 people also wounded. Was it an assassination? I don't see nothing about assassination attempt though. Not good either way, but I was trying to see if I maybe some kind of connection, like, but I don't see any at the moment. If we catch that later on, we might try to see if we can get something with it. So this is from Navarre. Oh, not there. U.S. bombs key road tunnels in overnight strikes. Let's see how old this is. The Telegraph is probably going to be. How old is this? July 18th. So this is updated. Okay, this UK. So that's today. So let's see what we got. Let's just go ahead and play this. Oh, they not like times now. They ain't got that music. Hey, Telegraph. Y'all need to step your game up. Oh, it's just a little short clip. So the U.S. damaged the key tunnel in Iran during a wave of overnight strikes, disrupting a critical transport route. The Sahih Nizarai tunnel in Iran's southern Hormozgan province was closed following the 7th consecutive night of strikes. American forces struck several bridges in the vicinity in an apparent attempt to cut off nearby Bandar Abbas, a crucial port city where roughly half the country's trade arrives. The region has endured days of back and forth attacks and a conflict increasingly focused on control of the strait. The collapse of an interim ceasefire leaves no clear end in sight for the war that the U.S. and Israel began more than 4 months ago. As we've seen on the proposal story on the timesnow.in video, they also mention how there was not much moving forward with the talks. There seems like there's going to be nothing close in sight as far as an agreement. So I stated that that most likely means we're going to have this going on for a while. Anyways, the tunnel is being repaired and will be open later on Saturday. IRIB news reported. The tunnel is being repaired and will be open. That's what they say. In retaliation, Iran attacked infrastructure in the Gulf, including a power and water desalination plant in Kuwait that caught fire, causing parts of the plant to shut down. Jordan, Bahrain, and Iraq also said they were defending against Iranian missiles. So we've seen this before. Iran will attack multiple countries when attacked to try to see if they can cause damage to disrupt, military operations and things of that nature. So we have the latest update. 12:54, Telegraph. U.S. hit 95 locations. Iran's Kuzis 95. Gosh, that So, it says provincial official. It's like a lyric. You're about to start. Nah. The U.S. has attacked at least 95 locations in the province in southwestern Iran in the last 10 days. Baloa Hayati, the deputy governor of Kazakhstan for Security Affairs, said American forces attacked 12 counties of the southwestern province, which demonstrates the boundless criminality of the enemy, Mr. Hayati told Iran's Tasnim news agency. At least 8 civilians were also reported to have been killed. Warnings of potential war crime after recent attacks. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres was concerned about escalation in the conflict, particularly attacks on civilian infrastructure in Iran across the region, his spokesperson said yesterday. Civilian infrastructure has increasingly been subjected to attack despite concerns about potential war crimes. Iranian media reported that several missiles struck power facilities and desalination pumps in the southern city of Jask on Saturday. And Jask was the city we had seen earlier that I wasn't aware that I heard of before, so we're getting some verification on that. City citing on local officials, some 10,000 people in 20 villages were without water, Tasnim news agency reported. Iranian media reported strikes early this morning in Hormozgan province of the Strait of Hormuz killed 3 people and wounded 8, while 2 bridges and road tunnel were damaged. A power generation and power desalination plant in Kuwait was hit in the Iranian attack, the second attack on Kuwait water desalination sites in 2 days. So, looks like they're both committing war crimes, I suppose, then. A day earlier, Iranian state media said U.S. strikes hit at least 5 bridges in south. 7 people were reported killed in attacks on bridges in the southern port of Bandar Kamir, where a train station was also hit. An airport reported hit after east in Iran Shah. Iran claims strikes on U.S. bases, so we're just going to skim through this. See if you got anything new, because we were kind of repeating the same things over and over again. So we're just going to quickly skim through it and see if there's anything relevant and then continue. Or anything new. The guards said they had to also destroyed at least 2 U.S. fighter aircraft and 3 other aircraft during a missile and drone attack early on Saturday on the U.S. base in Al Asrak, Jordan, according to Iranian state TV. Since there is no international institution to prevent the savagery of the U.S. military, we have no path before us except the Quranic command. Whoever attacks you, attack them in the same manner. The IRGC said in a statement warning U.S. allies in the region to expect more strikes. What do they call that? Quranic. Kuwait has accused Iran of targeting civilian sites and vital infrastructure in the country after reporting attacks on an oil facility and a power water plant. The repeated targeting of these vital facilities reveals a systematic hostile approach targeting civilian sites and vital infrastructure that endangers the lives of safety civilians. Overnight bridges strikes cut off city that keeps Iran alive. So it's like a back and forth. So we got Kuwait workers injured and tackling blaze from Iranian strike. We have U.S. bombs, Iranian road tunnel. We saw that on the last story. The tunnel located near the route from Bandar ABBAS to HAJIABAD also been closed. So we got photos of the. Let's go full here. We have photos of the bridge. Let's click on that so y'all can see it. Oh, that's it's just going to X. So that's on Tasnim News Agency. Ooh, that's a pretty decent destruction. That's gonna be hard to get that out. I mean, that's a pretty big slab of concrete. Sections of it is pretty wide. That's gonna be a good while. The short bridge and the outbound bridge of the Minaj Junction to Rendar route after the Sahara Fork were also struck, the agency said. We got a video.
گلوگاه یا تونل شهید میرزایی در واقع دو تونل ورودی و خروجی شمالی شهر بندرعباس در حال حاضر به دلیل حمله جنگندهای آمریکایی مسدود شدن. دو تونل آسیب جدی دیدن ولی ماشینالات دارن کار میکنن و میگن ما به زودی راه رو باز میکنیم، یعنی حالا به صورت موقتی راه باز میشه که ماشین‌های سبک بتونن تردد کنن.
Man, funny. Look at that. They're yelling with the echo. The U.S. is sending dozens of additional area refueling tanks amid concerns the war will escalate into a larger conflict. So they already got a decent amount out there, just constantly keeping the planes in the air. So it looks like they're going to be, I guess, possibly increasing the attack and surveillance plane count. So they're going to need more refuelers for that, if that's going to be what's going on. All right. The planes will be landing and stationed at Israel's air bases rather than Ben Gurion Airport. Ooh. Well, maybe Israel will, after seeing this, still like, still want to cough. The planes will be landing and stationed at Israeli bases. Maybe they're going to start getting involved as well, because I haven't seen much about Israel. And come to think about it, um, Iran hasn't attacked Israel in a while. I think I've seen somebody report that actually as well. They haven't attacked Israel in a while. It's been a few weeks. So I don't know if Israel's about to join in or what's going on with that, but Israel Transportation Ministry had already limited the number of tankers at Ben Gurion to 20 to try and fight summer travel issues. Uh, they're getting that summer wave. Let's see what we got though. We got more video. Iran shares list of U.S. war crimes. The government of the Islamic Republic of Iran has shared a social media post alleging U.S. war crimes against Tehran. The Iranian Crescent Society, a humanitarian mission, shared to social media a list of instances of U.S. war crimes. These included the attacks on communication and radio infrastructure, civilians, and water facilities. Let's see if we can show more, or it's probably going to go to X. Attack on water infrastructure, critical facilities, attack on civilian transportation infrastructures, bridges, railway, attack on port, maritime, and fishery infrastructure. So both sides are doing this, I guess. I guess they're just. So how would that work if both of them get go to court? Is they both had the same charges, I guess, because they're both doing the same thing. It seems like I don't know if Iran's got any bridges, but they're definitely hitting. They're both hitting civilians. Damage to a children's hospital in AHVAZ, attacks on civilians, attack on communication, radio infrastructure, attack on industrial factories, attack on oil infrastructure, attack on meteorological infrastructure, attack on civilian administrative buildings. Let's see what the people. Oh, gotta log in and see, but that's what they're stating. So let's continue. Kuwait shuts down water facility after airstrike. But then it's crazy because then you see this. So like I said, it's like so both are going back and forth attacking each other's particular or in the attacks, both sides are just attacking areas that can cause possible damage to military operations. This is what I'm getting out of it. Kuwait said a water desalination and power generation plant was struck by Iran, sparkling ablaze. So yes, both sides are going at it. We will also add this story to the information. So we might break these stories up later, but for now, we're just going to add them like this to keep them together, the ones I want to keep. So we'll just keep those there. So what we'll do now is we'll just actually, let's see what we got here. So when we add the pins, they actually go here. So we can just open those up and we'll see them here. So we can review them again here if we need to. So now this location has these particular informations. But let's map the rest of these locations out so we can, let's just get the list. Oops. So we got Jask. We got Sirik. I was about to click on Kashmir. Kashmir. We don't want to do India. Of course, we got Qeshm Island. Then we have DEHLORAN City. Did I spell that wrong? I think I might have spelled that wrong. Let me see if I can correct this mistake of mine. Google, what you got? What's going on here now? Okay. Oh, what the heck? There we go. It is spelled. Wait, I did spell it right. I know I didn't. Yeah, I did. Looks like I did. DEHLORAN. Let's see if we can do this route. Thought that's what I typed in, but let's just take out county and just put DEHLORAN. Ah, there we go. Alrighty. HAJIABAD. So we have, how many is this? Is that about 7? Oh. HAJIABAD. And this, I am not actually sure. Actually, this is the same. Let's see which one it might be. We'll just go by this because they don't have that version of it. Cool. All right. Of course, BANDAR, ABBAS. No matter. And AHVAZ. All right. So we'll just go ahead and add. Let's see. We'll just keep this name. Oops. Actually, I want to change that because we're going to do the bird. So these are about what's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 play. Ooh. Yeah, that's about right. But I think that one place said within the one location they hit like a good amount more. All right, so these are locations that we were able to get in there and see. And we'll just connect all these together. Let's see, just more of a representation to be like they're related in a way. Let's do green actually. Well, actually, no, we'll use just blue dyed. Oh shoot, we forgot a spot. Let's go and pause that. Let's do so we're going to pause it just to get this added. Zoom. Yeah. All right, so we have the locations tied together as we got this places as being attacked. So actually, you know what? What we will do is, since these are attacks in that sense, let's just change it to bomb. Save changes. Bomb, save changes. And actually on top of that, since it is this flag rep, and let's get this just do this. We just do the first ones. We ain't gotta do all of them, but so that's pretty much the locations we got for the attacks. We're just gonna leave it like that for now. We'll just hide the flows, but those are attacks. So let's actually create a doc stream of this so we can have some good tracking, some even better. So we'll just create one. We'll call this the. Actually, we'll just name it this. What we've been having. We won't be charging for X, people. It's free. We'll keep it live theory. We'll discuss more on this later, but a doc stream pretty much is you can save your current setup based on pins. You can add your pins to the doc stream. That allows them to pretty much be part of a document to where you can add more information, more detailed information. We'll probably go over that in another video when we actually use it, but we're not going to use it for that right now. Right now, we're just using it to keep track of it when if you want to gather all in the future in an easy manner. So we'll just create it for that right now. We'll generate it. When you generate it, you have a new look. As you see, there's a new bar at top. And whichever pin you created with, it makes that as the pin for the document. So in here you have pin to doc, and we should have the pin we used to create it with, and bundles. I probably should have took that out. I didn't want. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so that's good. So I'm not going to add any documents or nothing like that to it. So if we were to add a document, we can go to the um, pin board. You know, we could add a pin board document. We don't have a layout for that right now, but so I said we'll get to that later. But anyways, all right. So we'll just cut the flows off for now. All right. So that's what we have for that. We have all the locations that we were able to gather for this particular look to see where strikes were happening and things of that nature. Let's go and reset that. But so one thing about the WOSTR app is roller streams. We are just testing it out. We're getting a good flow for how we want to go over producing the news. I think next time we'll probably test out doing detours to see if we can, like, once we find a story that we're interested in, just go about it I didn't want to try that out today, but we'll try it out next video. But anyways, let's try to see what's been going on with the recent discussions here in the U.S. with President Trump going on over the election stuff. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to D.C. I'm not sure where he had the speech at, but we should get something from there. Ah, yes. Turn it off. Let's go. Super. Where do you have the, we'll just do it here. Siphon the info. All right, let's see. Trump speech, I guess. Let's do a time frame actually, because we don't want to. What is it? Yes, let's do six. Let's do 16, 26, and the current time. Let's just do social content. Let's see what we find, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just going to try to see what we can find that was possibly stated. Anything crazy that we can find, or just a quick. We're not going to take too much time on this. Just a quick scam. Just it's going to be the only search do. I don't even know if he did it in DC, but we'll see. It don't matter. It was on the news. It was everywhere. So wherever it's at, we can just go to that location and we'll do it like that. But must be a lot of stuff. That's old. That's 2023. Oops. It's a few months old. All right, let's actually no. Let's do 17, 20, 26. Update that a little bit with a more better range. While it's doing that, okay, here we go. Got a new update. I don't want to see that. Oh, we got news on, when was this? Just a little quick detour. Not part of the plan, but got something, how old is 5 days ago? aortic tear. So it looks like the skin might have dried and tore, maybe. Not skin, but internally. Man, they ain't no information on the speech. Let's go a little deeper. I ain't finding nothing. That's interesting. That's weird. Let's get Cypher and Intel Plus. Maybe they'll get something. I don't know. Is nobody talking about it? No, let me search Google. Maybe I'm going crazy. Trump speech or DuckDuckGo, whatever. Okay, here we go. U.S. President Trump has delivered a primetime address in which he accused China of interfering in the 2020 election and alleged shocking vulnerabilities in American voting systems. Trump, who spoke from the White House on Thursday, has repeatedly made unsubstantiated claims about voter fraud and foreign meddling in the 2020 election, which he lost to Joe Biden. In half-hour speech delivered 3 months before the midterm elections, he said he had declassified hundreds of intelligence files which supported his claims that Beijing had tried to sway the election in Biden's favor. The U.S. intelligence community has previously concluded that China did not interfere in the 2020 election. In response to his speech, China's foreign ministry strongly denied the allegations of Chinese meddling in the 2020 presidential election, saying they were entirely fabricated. Trump's claims are malicious smears which have long been proven to be boundless, foreign ministry spokesman Lin Jian said. Trump spoke in front of several members of his top team as he gave his address, but journalists were unable to put questions to the president. In his remarks, he accused China of the illicit acquisition of 220 million voter files, including personal information. Trump said voter data in 18 states was bought, stolen, or hacked by China and accused those responsible for sounding the alarm of not disclosing the discovery to government officials of Congress. So it seems like what he's saying is voter data was stolen to the tune of 220 million voter files and were bought, stolen, or hacked by China and accused those responsible for sounding the alarm of not disclosing the discovery to the government officials of Congress. So they weren't. A lot of voter data is publicly available, and Trump did not, in his speech, present any evidence that China had used this information to alter voting systems to influence election outcomes. So I don't understand that. So, like, are the voter rolls not public? Like, what information is accessible to the public? I'm not even sure. What they got access? Who got access? States have varied requirements on who's eligible to request list of voters. This contains information is kept confidential and how it risk contains. Hundreds of pages of intelligence documents were released by the White House during Trump's address, many of them heavily redacted. The BBC is in the process of reviewing them. Oh, this is BBC. I didn't realize that. I didn't pay attention to who it was. But so it's the BBC. I was like, why are they talking about BBC? It's BBC. Democrats, meanwhile, accused Trump of attempting to sow doubts about the security of the upcoming November midterms, which would decide control of Congress for the remainder of his presidency. Let's be clear in America, voters choose their leaders, not the other way around. Top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer posted on social media after the speech. Democrats will fight like hell to make sure every American voter can cast their ballot freely without the obstruction or interference from Donald Trump, he added. The president's comments contradict previous U.S. intelligence assessments. A 2021 report by U.S. National Intelligence Council said it had high confidence that China did not interfere in the 2020 presidential election. It's a lot. Okay, we're almost done. At the end of his speech, Trump again called for the passing of the Save America Act, which bans most mail voting, requires proof of citizenship, for voter registration and voter ID to cast ballot. That legislation has been stalled in the Senate for months. Trump encouraged Americans to urge their representatives in Congress to support its passage, but unless Republicans are also willing to abandon long-standing Senate procedures, such efforts are almost certainly doomed. The speech is likely to do little to quell the concern of Democrats that Trump is attempting to call into question the security of the upcoming midterms of the 2028 presidential election. He wants you to lose confidence in our election system to so you say stay home this November. Former President Kamala Harris wrote on X moments before Trump's remarks. In his address, Trump also attacked media outlets including ABC, NBC, and CNN, who didn't outrun his speech live on TV, saying they should have their broadcast license revoked. After the 2020 election, Trump and his allies launched dozens of unsuccessful legal challenges to contest Joe Biden's win, and no evidence of widespread fraud was found. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency called the 2020 election the most secure in American history, and that no voting systems were compromised. You know, so that's what they stated. So let's go. Uh, States have very required. Oh, that's just Trump makes unverified claim. Does everybody got the same title? What's going on here? Trump makes unverified claims of China election meddling as critics fear ploy to challenge midterms results. See if there's anything new. Probably not. I mean, it's just a speech, so probably not much new to really go over. Yep, 25 minutes. No country can be great without fair and honest elections. Democrats warn Trump is trying to sow confusion, spread information, and lay the groundwork to challenge the results. The Democrat Senator from Virginia, Vice Chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, said he spent years working to strengthen the country's defense against foreign meddling in U.S. elections. Who's Mark Warner? Tonight, Americans heard the president once again repeat claims about our elections that have been investigated for years and repeatedly rejected by the intelligence community. The facts have not changed. He added, China is a serious strategic competitor and it absolutely seeks to advance its interests in America's expense, so do Russia and Iran. We should confront those threats with facts, not distort them for political purposes. All right, still nothing new, so yeah, he's saying it was kept the information secret and hidden. He said they did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is this is the most secure election in the history of our country. He was directing the official of national intelligence, the Department of Justice, and FBI and CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover up and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against those people. Trump recently installed a key ally, Bill Posey, as acting director of national intelligence, despite the fact he has no previous intelligence experience. So, oh, I thought that was it. Uh, I was just for reading, just trying to skim through it. I'm almost done here, ladies and gentlemen. It says the settling involves reading a set text from a teleprompter for a limited period. Constraints at they were just talking about how Trump how he holds briefings and stuff. Uh, versus past presidents came messages to people and where he had him at, where they usually have him at in the from the White House. How he hasn't done them there recently. But anyways, the setting involves reading a set text from a teleprompter for a limited period. Constraints at odds with Trump's speaking style, which often deviates from script and meanders at length. On Thursday, the White House said Trump's longtime teleprompter operator had been placed on administrative leave following allegations he had placed bets of nearly 100,000 on a prediction market about what the president would say. You know what he gonna say? What are you talking about? Oh heck no! Yeah, you gonna take that lead, my guy. We gonna end it right there, ladies and gentlemen. We just gonna. Oh, where did he have the speech at? Was it the White House? They said the White House, yeah. Yeah. So we'll just add both of these to it. Um, yeah, that's gonna be it. What's this? Hold up. Let's see what they're talking about here. What's this? Trump returns to Washington, D.C. after a year and a half to deliver rally speech. They don't want me to come back. This is old. This is 2022. Okay, that's just talking about. Oh, that's right. I just took that from online. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to leave it right there. We've been on it for a while. We took a little longer on the Iran, but we was getting some good information. And timesnow.in made sure that they was on point with their editing. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for now. We tested a little bit with the WOSTR app, the world of streams, using the world of informed, woInformed profile type. Stay tuned. We'll probably have another video later today. And we'll probably try out that detour method we discussed and maybe go game plan for that. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me here on the globe. Okay. So yeah, we're just here on the globe, and we probably won't have these same stories on there. I can actually filter out which ones we see, but nonetheless, we'll be coming back if not later today. We definitely coming in tomorrow, but we'll try to get another one in later today with the current updates and try to only stay the recent today only for the news. I try to go over the last from the 11th to the 18th just because I have made a video in a while to try to go over recent news. So, but today, when we make one later today, we'll just post it for, we'll just only be searching for today news. But anyways, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is it, and we are out.